This one sounds emotional, but victory at last. This woman says she married her husband 27 years ago. And in their first 5 years of marriage, things were so hard for the both of them. So the both of them joined hands together and worked so hard. God intervened for them and blessed their home. They made money. They were taking care of their children. But the problem is that this woman said, I have a son and 4 girls. Then my husband insisted he wanted more male child. That he cannot just have 1 male child, that he need at least 2 or even 3. Then I told him that I will not be able to have any more children, that I am tired, that I might die in the process of this whole thing. Let's train these ones that we have, that this boy will grow and take over his legacy. If that is what he's scared of. He said, that what if something happens tomorrow? And I told him, you are not God. You are not God. But my husband insisted that he has to protect himself, that he needs another male child. And I told him there is nothing I could do about it. Then he said in that case that he needs to marry another wife so that she will bear him more children. We had an argument, serious arguments concerning that. I tried my best, but my husband insisted. While we are still dragging, my husband brought a pregnant woman home and said this was the lady he wanted to marry. So at that point, I knew it was over. So I said, okay, if that is what he wants, he can go ahead and marry this lady. Then he married the lady. As God may have it, she gave birth to a baby boy. Now, the moment this lady put to bed and is a male child, the atmosphere changed. My husband started giving her more attention than me. So I decided to just keep quiet. Now, the lady took in for the second child and gave birth to a girl. My husband was still happy with her. At least she was younger than I am. The man was just enjoying himself and ignoring me. But I didn't know what happened though. The boy she gave birth to had developed an illness. I don't know the kind of illness. They have been taking this boy from one place to another. Nothing is happening. They even took him to India for treatment. This boy started sucking everything we had, everything we worked for. I was heartbroken because the money they were spending, I contributed 70% to it. Yes, I contributed 70%. But he's the man. So I allowed them. And again, they needed to save a life. I just allowed them. They were now taking this boy from one place to another. They even took him to India. They now said he has a hole in his heart, something like that. They were going to operate on him. They operated and spent millions. After the operation, the guy came back and got better. Few months after, another sickness came up. Then my husband became so furious, angry, and said I was responsible for what is wrong with that child. And I asked them how. What did I do? They said yes, that I am jealous because I do not want the lady to come into our home. I decided to take the life of that child. And since that time, I have been battling with this whole thing with them. I said, what kind of accusation is this? Now, my husband got scared of, they are now scared of me. My co-wife, everybody, nobody touches anything that I touch. Then my husband openly told me that he's tired of this whole thing. He's tired of me and he doesn't know why I became feltish. That because of my feltishness that he cannot keep me in his house anymore. That I can go somewhere else, that he will pay. That he will pay if I want. We can divide everything that we have. But this fetishness that he cannot deal with it. And that was how I left my husband's house with my children. Now, when I left, the sickness did not stop. They were still carrying this boy from one place to another place. They took him to places and spent a lot of money to the extent that my husband had to start selling our properties. There is a small hotel we built together. And I contributed more in that place. We built that hotel together. My husband sold it. They spent all the money on this boy, trying to save his life. No way. My husband sold almost everything that we had. But the good part of it is that he was selling and I was buying. Yes, somebody told me about it. A friend of his told me about the things he's selling. And I sent somebody in disguise to buy those things for me. My husband was selling and I was buying. Now he has sold everything that we had. The moment he finished selling everything, after selling everything, the boy got whole. This boy got well. This boy is now doing fine. He's healthy now. But my husband is left with nothing. His wife is left with nothing. As a matter of fact, the lady is even tired of the marriage as it stands now. Now, my husband came back to me begging that I and my children can return back to the house. My children are all grown-ups and they are working and doing well, supporting me, and I am doing well myself. And my husband do not know that all the properties he sold that I bought. The truth is that I am tired of him already. There is nothing I want to do with him anymore. I am even pitying him. At this point, I do not know what to do. Should I go back to the house to him, because my children, they are on their own. Now it's left for just the both of us. My children only visit and they go back to their various places. Now, my husband wants me back. Do you think it's wise for me to go back to him? He's getting old. I am getting old myself. We are no longer that young. What do you advise that I should do? Don't forget to like, comment, share, so that other people will listen to these stories, because these stories will also teach people who has not made this kind of mistakes. Share it, like it, and give your own advice. Your advice might be the advice we are looking for that will save this family from divorce.